Hey guys, welcome back to another SCP reaction video, you beautiful bastards. Today we're actually going to be watching The Rubber, SCP 4000. We haven't seen this guy before, I don't think, but he was recommended to us, so I'm going to watch one of his videos, see how it goes. Make sure you give a like or a subscribe if you're enjoying it, and also make sure you check out the original video. I'm going to put it in the description below. Always show your support to the creators I react to, because then I can keep reacting to the creators, because they'll keep creating content for me to react to. Okay. Let's go.
Your discretion is advised. A strong breeze moves through the house. Neither of them speaks for half a minute. The rabbit man grunts and then places a hand to its head, as if it were in pain. Dr. Jappers places his hand against the teapot. Hello everybody, I'm the Rubber. Today we bring you SCP Foundation Keter.
What an interesting start. A rabbit man and a human with a teapot. Sounds kind of like Alice in Wonderland.
Class object SCP-4000. SCP-4000, also known as Taboo, is a forest world with numerous anomalous creatures. When mentioning anything about SCP-4000, any person, place, or thing inside it, one may not use names or titles to describe them. Instead, one may only use a unique, drawn-out description. For example, the woods where you need to speak carefully, or the glen of stolen names. At least one exploration of SCP-4000 needs to take place per year. To enter 4000, subjects need to perform a certain ritual. And
Not
after
demonic
completing
at all.
said ritual, subjects emerge from the opening of a dilapidated brick well, fixed in...
Wait, so this is kind of like SCP, is it 055, where not necessarily that you forget about it, but you can't give an accurate description of it, right? How strange.
to the forest floor. The only way to reliably traverse the unusual terrain is by walking down a single dirt path. The sole safe road may only be traversed in a single direction, and any attempt by subjects to turn back and return the way they came will result in loss of contact. The only way...
That's less. I thought he'd just die. You know, most SCPs just kill people these days.
For a subject to safely exit the woods is by walking its entire length and returning to the place where they began, which happens to be all the way at the opposite end.
It's like a big circle.
The anomalous creatures that live in 4000 often undergo changes in physical structure when unobserved, which has made it difficult for researchers to determine.
If the men find out we can shapeshift, they're going to call the church. Sorry, that's like a TikTok thing. That just... I watch a lot of TikTok, okay? That reminded me of the thing from TikTok.
Determine the scope of the entities that inhabit the planet. Some are often confused with newer iterations of those previously documented. These creatures claim they have no control over these changes and frequently express dissatisfaction when they occur.
So like angry Doctor Who's then? Whenever he changes, he's like, have I gone ginger?
Some of the creatures are hostile, but others are trustworthy.
Aww.
If someone uses a consistent name or title for SCP-4000, or any singular person, place, or thing inside it, weird things happen.
Oh.
Typically, one might experience hallucinations, or appearances of 4000 creatures and their matter in the real world.
Wait, so it's like if you use its real name, you almost summon it to you, and the creatures, that's pretty cool. So it's like with Voldemort, you can't say Voldemort, or the Death Eaters will like know where you are. So you can't use the real names for 4000, or the creatures are like, that's pretty cool.
World.
It's
There
that
are strict
creepy
rules that
creature
subjects
made of
must
feathers.
follow and enter 4000. Among them are a few hand-picked rules that all subjects who enter should always remember. Don't call anything, including yourself, by a consistent name or answer to a consistent name. Politely decline non-physical gifts or attempts to initiate a...
They're Fae! They're Fae! I have watched, read even enough young adult fiction novels, non-fiction, whatever it is, the made-up story novels to know. They be Fae.
Trade.
They be Fae.
You may accept food offered to you, but do not consume it yourself.
They be Fae.
If a creature appears to require your assistance, consider its appearance before choosing to help. If the entity appears threatening, do whatever is necessary to aid it. If the entity appears attractive or harmless, do not approach. The following
Sounds like a guide to women.
is the conversation between Dr. Eugene Jappers and a SCP-4000 creature known as the Rabbit Man. This conversation was transcribed over the course of several years. In 2005, the first expedition into the forest, Dr. Eugene Jappers had met the gentleman with the leporine visage.
Good morning, strange traveler.
Good morning.
It's nice to see a new face around these parts. How is your name?
I'm sorry, I'm
How
afraid
is
I
your
can't tell you that.
name?
I'm merely asking how your name is. My name has smelt of raspberries lately.
Huh? What would my name smell of? Oh. Kooky. What would my name smell? Freshly baked cookies on a Sunday morning. Like on a windowsill. That's the smell of my name.
Think, or snapdragons perhaps. It's so hard to tell these days, but one tries.
My apologies. I'm afraid my name has tasted rather tart as of late.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I shouldn't have pried.
It's quite all right. It has been lovely to meet you,
This is
but
such
I
a
must be
strange
on my way.
conversation.
Must you though? My home is close by, and I was hoping to invite you in for tea.
I'm terribly sorry, but unfortunately, I cannot stop at this moment. Perhaps another day.
Very well. Until next time, stranger whose name tastes rather tart.
3 years later, Dr. Jappers met with Rabbit Man again.
Why does he
during
look
his
so
fourth expedition.
sus?
Dr. Jappers crests a hill and discovers his hair-like acquaintance tending to a patch of cabbages.
Good afternoon, stranger. Except, pardon me, we've met before, haven't we?
Good afternoon. I believe so, yes. 3 years ago, if memory serves.
I remember now. You ran off in quite a hurry. You are not from here.
You are the man who smells of tart.
What woods are you from?
I do not come from any woods.
Nonsense. Certainly, you have trees where you're from, do you not?
We do have trees, but they're very sparse. Most of the land is covered in homes and businesses.
Then they are inferior woods, but
Yes.
woods nonetheless.
They are
Tell me,
inferior.
how did you get here?
I see you have an inquiring mind. I would like to ask you a question, if that's all right.
Pardon my lack of manners. I consider myself something.
This is such a strange conversation, but I kind of like it. It's not really telling me, it's telling me a little bit about the SCP. So the SCP itself is a woods in another dimension with a bunch of shape-shifting creatures, and there are rules you have to follow in regards to accepting gifts, and you cannot say anything by name, or it essentially summons the SCP to you, but you also can't give out your own name. So I wonder how they found out all these rules. A lot of trial and error and class 4 sacrifices, probably. But it's pretty cool. It reminds me very much of almost like a fairy tale.
Of a scholar, you see, and I get a bit excited when I have a chance to learn of forests outside my own. By all means, pose your question.
When we last met, you said it had become difficult to describe your name. Do you have any theories for why that may be?
I can only assume it's because of how long we've been apart. My name and I, that is.
Huh?
It was a good name, a proud name. I'm fairly sure of that. But by this point, however, it's probably decayed from its former grandeur, if it even still exists. Now, fellow scholar, you must answer my previous question.
He's
I came through the
separated from
old well
his
at the
name.
end of the footpath. I am presently perambulating.
Oh my, it's been quite some time.
What does perambulating mean? I don't even know that word. Let me Google search perambulating. Oh, I see. Walk or travel through a round or... Oh, walk through an area in a leisurely way. Okay, I got you. He's leisurely strolling. I understand.
I'll be frank, I thought all the old allies had died out. Did your grandfather or some such relation have a lover out there?
My deepest apologies. I'm afraid I cannot answer that question.
I understand. I'd invite you to my cottage for tea, but I suppose that's not possible for you, is it? Take this and be on your way.
Thank you very much.
He took the cabbage.
Dr. Jappers later used the cabbage leaf to feed a creature resembling a field mouse. which in turn aided him on his travels. In 2013, Dr. Jappers
okay.
was
So you can accept gifts, you just can't use them yourself, or you become trapped there forever. No, I don't know.
sent in again for the 9th time, in hopes to conduct a more thorough interview with the Rabbit Man. Additionally, Dr. Jappers was granted special permission to make false statements for the sake of facilitating conversation. During his first encounter, the fluffy one was quite susceptible to deception, and Dr. Jappers wanted to exploit this
Oh, that's
weakness.
kind of mean.
This time, traveling along the way of weary adventure, Dr. Jappers encounters a small white cottage with a thatched roof. A small opening in the shape of a rabbit's head
It's
is cut
his
into the front door.
home.
Dr. Jappers approaches it and knocks. Hello? Is anyone home?
Yes, 1 minute.
Exactly 1 minute passed. The door opened.
Ah, we meet again. Please, come in, come in.
Okay.
You have a lovely home.
I suppose it was just meant to be temporary, or at least until things cooled down on the other side.
On the other side?
But, well, you know.
I'm afraid I don't know. Would you like some help?
No, 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 no. You just have yourself a seat at the table over there while I get the tea ready for us.
You are most kind. Tell me, could you explain
So
what
he
you
has-
meant by cooled down?
I was about to say, so is he going to ask about the cooling down, or?
Your relations didn't tell you the full story, I suppose, about the turmoil that drove us here.
Turmoil? Was there a war?
My grandparents told me there were wars, but I never knew of one with you and your kind. It doesn't surprise me. There are very few, even in these woods, who still remember. Memory is the burden of the old, I suppose.
It's a very wise statement. Memory is the burden of the old. So, yeah, I mean, living in blissful ignorance can be quite peaceful, I suppose.
But yes, when I was a young lad, in a form quite different from the one I possess now, I lived on the other end of the well. It's where I was born. In fact, it's where I grew up. And if I dare to dream, where I will someday return.
Aww.
Why don't you, then?
I can't. Not unless I could know for certain that I'd be welcomed back. I'm sure you don't know this, since they keep themselves hidden, but there are those who would destroy me at their first chance. My apologies. These are dark memories. I'm sure you don't want to hear about them.
No.
It's kind of sad, though, that there was a war that drove them
Oh,
here.
please go on. These things are of interest to me. I am
Aw.
a fellow scholar, remember?
As you wish, fellow scholar. I shall talk until the tea is cold. Much as it grieves me to say it, we were betrayed. We had fought side by side, you know, in the war against that
Ooh.
factory.
Ooh.
We had done
Why does he look so evil? And what factory? Why does he look so evil?
nothing but help them. And what did they do? They destroyed us. They took so many of our lives and all of our names. Some of us fled here when the war was just beginning, but not many, not many. Still though, I don't hate them.
I'm glad for that.
I'd imagine so. There are some old fogies around these parts who bear a grudge against the whole species. But I know you're not all bad. There were many who sheltered us and fought for us. There were even some who died for us. Some came to live here amongst us, rest their souls. I, myself, courted a human once upon a time. He came to visit a time or two, but I never saw him after that.
Oh, poor bunny.
I still wonder now and again if he fell at the hand of an unkind neighbor, or if he merely stopped caring to see me.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
But it's no matter now. I apologize for prattling on about old flames. Certainly, such things are of no interest to you, fellow scholar.
On the contrary, I'd like to hear more of these stories. The life of you and your people is of great interest to me. A strong breeze moves through the house.
Neither of them speaks for half a minute.
The rabbit man grunts and places a hand to its head, as if in pain.
Is he going to shapeshift?
Dr. Jappers places his hand against the teapot. It appears the tea has gotten cold. I think it's time for me to leave.
What? You're leaving? I should leave too then.
No. I'll be going alone, thank you. It's abrupt, yes, and I'm grievously sorry to do this, But I really must be going. I believe I'm long overdue to return home.
Stop! What have you done? I don't know who... What happened to my name? I can't!
Huh?
Dr. Japper
Oh no, what did he
just
do to
quickly
the
exits
bunny?
the house. Rabbit Man whimpers and looks at its hands as he leaves.
It does taste rather tart.
After the encounter, Dr. Japper successfully returned to Site-08,
What did he
but
do?
was later reported missing. Investigations into his disappearance and current whereabouts have been inconclusive. However, the Foundation found some white fur on his expedition gear. Alright, I know you're now confused and lost, so let
Yeah.
me explain it to you.
I agree. I am a little confused, Rubber Man. Yeah, thank you.
Remember in the beginning, we listed a few rules to follow when someone enters SCP-4000? Well, we emphasized the fact that you can never call anything by a consistent name or answer to a consistent name. But unfortunately, Dr. Jappers referred to himself as a fellow scholar and accepted when the rabbit also referred to him as a fellow scholar, one too many times. After the strong breeze moved through the house, their identities had been swapped. The human who should really be Dr. Jappers is now the Rabbit Man, while the one who later gets up and leaves to come back to our world was previously the Rabbit Man.
Oh
It's
no.
been proven that SCP-4000 is stealing names from people. But who are they really? Why are they trying to steal names? And how did SCP-4000 appear to this world? We will explain all of this in Part 2.
Oh no.
Remember to check out my new animation
Wait. So the creature. Oh my god, what the fuck? Wait, so the creatures were driven from our world and we stole their names, so now they're stealing their. Oh my god. Wait, so the scientist is now trapped there as the bunny? Oh, that's actually kind of sad. That bunny was an evil bastard. Oh no. I mean, I feel bad for him because he was betrayed in the first place, but like. That was cool. That was cool. That was kind of a mindfuck at the end, but that was cool. I liked that. Oh, man. I feel bad for Jasper. Poor guy. I mean, the woods doesn't seem like a bad place to live. You just have to deal with shapeshifting constantly and being a rabbit, I suppose. And unfriendly neighbors. But you could always trick someone else into getting their name. That's fine. You'll just have to change your name and be like, as a fellow associate instead of scholar, and you'll probably be fine. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, my beautiful bastards. Don't say that one too many times or I will take your names. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Leave a like or subscribe. Please do, because most of my viewers are not actually subscribed. But yeah, see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.